about 2 years ago in one of the agencies I was running, we were building a cold calling team. And initially I thought, great, I'm just going to hire people. People really want to work for me. I'm just going to pay them on commission. And all of a sudden I'm just going to become a millionaire overnight by having these guys work for me, by having, labor arbitrage and delegation. And that all sounded great in my head until it came time to dial. And nobody wanted to hit the phones. As a matter of fact, people were reluctant to call. They were scared. They were scared of rejection. They weren't motivated, and they didn't hit the phones. And so that got me really rethinking my entire life, and I had to come up with a way to find out how to make these guys who I just onboarded to scale my agency. This is my entire plan to scale the agency at the time, to actually want to dial more. And amongst that process, I went from having I think it was 4 cold callers that didn't want a cold call, to getting rid of one of them and having 3 cold callers who on average made each around $200 a day. Sometimes some of them would even make $300-400, sometimes a little bit less, okay? And so on average per day, we're booking anywhere from 5 to even sometimes upwards of 10 appointments per single day. On average, we probably went over 40 appointments a week. It was absolutely insane. That's because of a few key strategies I'm going to share with you today. And the reason why I'm making this video is a few of the guys that I'm partnered up with and I'm helping build their cold calling teams and scaling their agencies right now as we speak are running into similar an issue. And so I realized some of the tactics I've used, some of the stuff I want to share with you that hopefully you can use as well, that's really been working for some of my partners and also myself to make sure your guys are more motivated. Okay? And so the very first thing in motivating your guys starts from the beginning. It starts from the expectation you set when you brought them on. Did you say this was a get-rich-quick scheme? Did you say they weren't going to work hard? What is the expectation you set? You see, I initially had set the expectation that it wasn't going to be that hard. What I realized is you have to set the expectation that it's going to be harder than it actually is. Because that way you get people who you know will work hard. The second thing is making sure the people you're hiring, the people you're finding in the first place, have what we call, there's a difference between hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills is like reading the script, handling objections, like stuff that you can like train them on. Soft skills is like somebody's values, somebody's personality, somebody's work ethic, determination, etc. And so when you're hiring, you want to make sure you're hiring people with the right soft skills. You want to make sure you're hiring people who have a past, right, of being relentless, of being determined, etc. And so you can just ask questions like, give me a time where you showed your perseverance. Give me a time where demonstrate a time, or tell me a story where you had, so cool term like severe determination. Share with me a time where you were, whatever the case is, not motivated, but you had the discipline to keep going. So you can kind of get an idea, right? Ask them. Typically, people who play sports are predisposed to having more of these characteristics of working hard, etc. Right? Another thing you can do is ask them who their 3 favorite idols are, if you will. Like, who are 3 people they look up to, who are 3 people that inspire them, and ask them 3 reasons why for each. The first one they tell you will just be a flat out lie most of the time and will only be said to try and please you. But the second and third will start to reveal more of their characteristics and their values. So you can get an idea of who they valued, what they're kind of like before you ever even really get to work with them. Okay, that's some sauce for you. But outside of that, we really come into the team itself. And here's where the real magic is done in the motivating. And the first thing I want to make clear is you want to make your team a family. You want to make your team a brotherhood. You want to make your team so close to where everybody's like buddies with each other, in a sense where you create this friendly competition. And so what I actually would always do is I would have daily calls with my team where we would check in. I would give them announcements on the entirety of the business so they felt like they were part of it. They felt like they were a partner. They felt like they were more than just a cold caller on the team. That was a huge thing, is inviting them in to more of the business so they felt like they were really a part of what we're building, not just a one-off. I also made sure they saw the long term in the business. They could become an SDR, they could become a team lead, they could become a closer, they could become a whatever in the business if they worked hard enough, to give them this future pacing of what could happen if they stayed with me, right? That was another really big thing, to get them to see the long-term vision. I also got them bought into the vision of the company, to make sure they cared as much about the company as I did, right? Because you want to make sure that your vision and your values are aligned. So I made it very clear that I want to make sure everyone working with me had the same alignment with the company that I had. So we're all working towards the same goal, right? So that when we're motivating each other, it's not like, oh, this guy's doing it for this reason, this guy for that reason. We're all doing it for the same one reason. Everyone might have their other exterior reasons as to why they're doing it. We want to align our incentives together so we can really motivate each other. Another thing I'll do is, when we come to this topic of treating them like family, is culture, right? And so some of the things I did is I would have game nights. Every Friday we'd have a game night. We would all hop in the call, right? Some days on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, we'd hop in the call super late at night, sometimes 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. We'd hop in the call and just chat. We chat about life. We chat about religion. We chat about relationships. We chat about where we want to travel. We start to build more of a connection outside of work, right? Outside of working hours and outside of work, to get to know each other even better. right? Which allowed them to feel like they were part of something bigger than themselves, which makes it easier, right? It's easier to do something for someone else than it is for yourself. It's why everyone, look behind me, all these matrix people, right, will wake up at 8 a.m. to get to the job at 9 a.m. Why? Because their boss said so. Not because they want to, but because their boss said so. But a lot of people on a Saturday or Sunday, when they don't have to get up, when they wake up 9, 10, 11 a.m., right, way later. Why? Because no one's telling them to get up. But the second, let's say that someone tells them to do something, they'll do it, right? The boss says, hey, go grab the piece of paper, you go grab it, right? But when you get home and you want to go to the gym, you say, no, I'm good. Why? Because no one's telling you to go. So when you're part of something bigger, you're more likely to do something, which is why I want to create this environment, right? So game nights is really important. Meeting outside of business hours to just chat normally, right, is super important as well. Another thing is incentives. I want to make sure my team is rewarded for hard work and also has the opportunity to make a lot of money, right? I want to do right by my team. And so some of the things I would do is I'd have games, I'd have leaderboards, right? Like, hey, first person, like sometimes I would announce, hey, first person to book an appointment today, I'll send $20, right? Or first person to book 5 appointments today, I'll buy you Discord Nitro, right? Or first person to book 20 appointments this week, I'll send you a $100 gift card, right? Or first person to book 100 appointments this month, I will send you $500, right? And then like little things like this, little incentives, you could do them spontaneously, you could do them every single week, but I just want to do a bunch of different random ones so everyone feels like they have a chance, right? Which is why if I text in the morning at 6 a.m., hey, whoever books the first appointment gets $20, even if the best, maybe the best cold caller is sleeping, so it gives the other people a chance to make money, right? Or maybe it's the first one to book 5 appointments. If you dial quicker and faster than everyone else, you have a better chance to do that. So I want to incentivize them with these little games, right? Outside of their typical compensation, I just want to incentivize them, right? With fun things. Sometimes it's like, hey, whoever does X, I will buy you a new microphone or a new webcam or things to enhance, their sales experience, whatever the case may be, right? That's another big thing I do to motivate my team. Another thing I would do is one-on-one goal setting. You can do this weekly, you can do this monthly, right? Goal setting with your team one-on-one, right? So, and talking with them like, hey, what is your goals inside the business? What are you trying to do next week? How many appointments are you trying to make? What is your goal long-term? You're trying to become a closer. You want to become a team lead. What are you trying to do and how can I help you get there? Putting together a plan so they feel like there's a vision for them in the future. So if they see there's a vision, they can actually work toward that. If they don't see a vision, what's the point in even taking that step today? Right? There's no point, so you have to give them that clear vision. Another thing would be is what's your personal goals? What do you want to do in personal life? How can I help you achieve that to make you a better person? And once again, trying to build this relationship, trying to build this family-like brotherhood where people feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves, which in turn will make them more likely to actually show up and do the dials. Right? These are huge. Right? Everything I'm spitting here, this changed the game for me. It's made me so much money. It's made my team so much better. And also, all the partners I'm working with now and people I partner up with are helping their team scale so much. Right, by implementing all these things, right? And there's so many things I've already shared with you, and there's even more to come, right? So motivating. Another big thing is daily calls in the morning to hype them up. And these calls, we would bring the energy. I wouldn't just sit there and la-di down the call. I would get everyone standing up, beat your chest, take your shirt off, flex, and make the calls hype, right? I want to make sure that everyone is hype on the calls. I want to make sure that going into the day, going into those cold calls, everyone is excited, everyone is pumped up, right? Everyone is loving it. Right, that's your job as a leader is to create an environment in which people want to work. And so if you even ask yourself, well, what's an environment in which people would want to work? You'll probably list out a bunch of things you're not doing now that you could be doing. So just list out what is the optimal working environment for a cold caller. What would they want to see? If I was a cold caller, what would I want my boss to do? What would I want the company to do? And you'll list out a bunch of things you're not doing now that you could do, that you could implement to make it more likely for someone to be motivated to call for you. Right? And once again, they're making you money. So you should spend everything you can to make them better and to motivate them. Because investing in your team is the best investment you can make, because they'll put it right back into you. Right? So this is so important to make sure you really spend time on your team, onboard them properly, give them the right training, give them the right systems. Right? People don't like being bad at something. And so sometimes people will get demotivated because they're not good at cold calling, and you're not helping train them because you're not very good, or whatever the case may be, and therefore they feel demotivated because they can't get better. You need to help them, you need to train them, you need to be by their side, you need to motivate them, right? You need to hype them up, you need to give them that positive encouragement, that positive reinforcement that people are lacking so much in this life as it is, right? You need to be that guy that's helping them out. You have such an important job as a leader. Your cold call team shouldn't be taken lightly. Most people shouldn't even have a cold call team, but having a cold call team shouldn't be taken lightly. You should pour your heart and soul into your team to make sure they're taken care of. Right? If someone had an issue at home, I would send my condolences. I would, wish their mom well. I'd help out wherever I can, because I want to make sure that my team is taken care of. They're my team. They're putting their hard time, right, into my business to help me grow. I better put something back into their life to make them better. Okay, so it's really important that you care about your team. That's one of the most important things, is care about your team. truly care about your team, and create an environment in which people will want to work. And what will happen is literally your cold callers will start to refer more people into your business as well. And they'll want to work there because they'll see how cool it is to work at your company. You just want to make working at your company fun. It's one of the biggest things I learned way back when I was taking a lot of sales courses and whatnot, is you want to make working at your company fun. So fun that people want to be there. People are excited to hop on the calls. There's energy, there's passion, there's just excitement to be there, right? To get everyone riled up, to just have that infectious smile that makes people's lives better outside of business as well, right? Be that getaway, be that that place where people can just have a good time. These are the things you want to do to motivate your team, to get them to want to call for you. It all starts with you. It starts with you as a leader. It starts with you as a person. Are you somebody that people want to work with? I try my absolute best on this YouTube channel to not only give a bunch of value, but also to come across as a positive beacon, right? A beacon of light for the people, right? And one, that's who I am, and two, I want to have a positive impact. I want to inspire people. And as a result, people text me like, man, Stefan, I love your energy. I'd really love to chat and possibly work with you. Right? Because they like me as a person. And that's the biggest thing with your team, is they got to like you as a person. Because the culture is built by you. The culture is set by you. So if you're some slum who does nothing, boom, culture goes down. Right? But if you're some super, super passionate, excited, infectious guy, right, that'll pass off to your teammates. Right? Like, passion is infectious. Passion is contagious. And if you have that passion, the energy, it'll pass off to all your teammates. Right? Pass off to them, and they'll start to pick up on this energy, and they'll start to be more motivated. And then the other guys will see them motivated, and be like, damn, look at how much dials this guy's doing. And they'll start doing the dials, right? I want to create even friendly competition between the two guys, right? I remember once two of my cold callers, what is going on? What? I mean, yeah, congratulations, Stefan, I guess. Right? But I remember once two of my cold callers were sitting in a Discord call after cold calling for like 6 hours till like 4 a.m. just like role playing with each other and chatting about life as well. Just trying to get better, trying to motivate each other, trying to help each other out, creating new scripts, finding new ways to be better. Right? I wasn't even in the call, but that's the environment I had created. And that's the environment you want to create when you're a team lead, is take your team seriously and pour your heart into soul to helping them out. And if you do that, your team will be more motivated than you ever can be. Okay? If your team isn't motivated, it's because of one of two things. Number one, you suck at leading them, and number two, you suck at hiring the right people. Both come down on you. It's not on your team. It's not your team's fault. It's your fault. You either aren't good at leading them and setting the culture, or you're not good at hiring the right people in the first place. Either way, it's your fault. Take that responsibility, take that accountability, and do something about it. Okay? So that is how I motivated my team, and that's how you can motivate your team to do more calls, to make you damn more money. Alrighty? That's all I got. If you like me, and you want to partner with me to have me help you build your cold calling team and help you scale your agency to make a bunch more money, right? So you can do whatever it is you want in life, then there's a button down below or a link down below. Click that link. Okay, you book a call directly with me on my personal counter and just have a chat with me and see if it can be a good fit for you. That's all I got. Go out there, make your team happy, and make a bunch more money.